Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Coliseum in Oakland, California. I'm George Kell, along with Kaline. This is the second of three here at the Coliseum. The Tigers lost last night. Robinson pitched very well, but the home run ball did him in. Today, it'll be Frank Tanana for the Tigers. Frank has won 11, lost 4 on the year. And Todd Burns. We have not seen Todd Burns pitch. He's 2-0. He's won 1 game starting, a complete ball game, 1 in relief. And, Al, they like this fella.
Well, you know, they were running into some problems in the bullpen. They had a lot of tired arms in the bullpen, and they reached down in Tacoma, their AAA ball club, and Todd had been a reliever down there, and they said, well, we'll bring somebody up. And to his credit, he's taken advantage of the opportunity. He's pitched well for him. His last game was his first complete game Major League victory against Cleveland, and he's pitched very well. Watching him warm up, I had never seen him before. He looks like he throws well, and going over his record, has great control, George. He doesn't walk very many people.
Well, I asked Sparky Anderson before the game today, how's it going, Sparky? He says, we need a win, and we need it very badly right here this afternoon. The Tigers lead the Yankees by 1 game. They play tonight. They lead the Red Sox by 3.5, and the Red Sox are winning big, 9-5 in the 7th inning in Boston today. And all of a sudden, we've got another club to contend with.
Well, it's going to be a real dogfight in the American League East. Everybody thought Boston was going to be a solid ball club. They struggled, but then now they're on track. Milwaukee, best team in baseball last year at the last month or so of the season. Of course, the Yankees and Detroit will be right in the hunt.
Well, you see Sparky coming out to home plate right now, and he's getting ready to give the starting lineups to the umpire. This is going to be a very crucial ball game here today and tomorrow. The Tigers would like to come home in first place. They have not had a particularly successful road trip, but it's always tough, Al, when you come out here.
Well, it's a very tough coming out to on the West Coast. There's a different world out here. It's the atmosphere is different, and plus being so far away from home that it sometimes catches up with you. But the Tigers had been very successful on the West Coast in the last couple of years, but they need a couple of wins. They need a win at least here in Oakland to have a fairly good road trip.
All right, we're just about ready to go. Al's ready. He has the starting lineup for today's game.
Okay, George, here's the batting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. Leading off, Gary Pettis, center field. Batting second baseman is Lou Whitaker. Batting third, Pat Sheridan, left field. Batting fourth, the shortstop, Alan Trammell. And batting fifth, Darrell Evans at first base. Batting sixth, right fielder Chet Lemon. Batting seventh, Matt Noakes, the catcher. Batting eighth, playing third base today, Luis Salazar. And batting ninth, the DH, Dave Bergman. Defensively for Oakland, Javier, Henderson, Canseco in the outfield. Langsford, Weiss, Gallego, McGuire, Steinbach is the catcher, and the young man we were talking about, Todd Burns, on the mound for the Oakland Ball Club, 2-0 with an excellent 2.11 earned run average, making his 6th Major League appearance and 5th Major League start. He picked up his 2nd Major League win and 1st Major League complete game in his last start against the Cleveland Ball Club. He is a non-roster player, was not on the Major League roster going into spring training. He was the number 7th draft pick out of Oral Roberts University in 1984. His record at Tacoma this season, 4 wins and 3 losses, 1 save. 21 games he appeared in, 5 as a starter, 73 in 3rd innings, allowed 74 hits and 39 runs. We're watching him, as I mentioned before, and 2nd member of the A's June '84 draft to make it to the Major Leagues. Of course, the number 1 guy, McGuire. Watching him warm up, he looked like he had a good fastball and a good slider, and threw the ball pretty much where he wanted to. You see, stockily built a young man, big legs, should have good power, and should have a good fastball.
Well, he's like another young draft choice that came out of Oral Roberts, Mike Moore with Seattle. A fine pitcher, never really developed yet. Not yet like they thought he would, but an excellent draft choice. Gary Pettis will lead it off. Gary Pettis, Lou Whitaker, and Pat Sheridan in the 1st inning. And the first pitch is outside. That's Tim McClellan behind the plate today, calling the balls and strikes. Drew Coble is at first base. Al Clark at second. Don Dinkinger at third base. Don Dinkinger is the crew chief. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bill Rigney, golf pro out here in Northern California, has just walked into our
You better believe that.
There's a fly ball into left field. Towering fly ball that's put away by Stan Javier. So Pettis is out, 1 out in the first inning, and the batter will be Lou Whitaker.
Sweet Lou has a 7-game streak going. He hits very well on the road this season, batting .308 on the road. Lou's been bothered somewhat this season, pretty much all year long, although he hasn't let it be known very often, but his lower back has been giving him quite a bit of problems this season.
And the first pitch to Whitaker. That's a strike. Tigers have not hit a home run in their last 46 innings. In Detroit just a couple of weeks ago, you remember, they were on some kind of a tear with the home run ball.
I think they hit 2 home runs, George, in 1 game. That's the last home runs they've hit on this road trip.
And the pitch to Whitaker is fouled away into the second deck. We've got a big crowd today. It was announced here on Thursday that Saturday today and Sunday would be sellouts at the Coliseum.
They've never had 50,000 in this ballpark. 49-3 has been the top.
There's a base hit. Excuse me, Al. A base hit into right. Well, they're expecting right at 50 today and tomorrow. And they should be drawing. They've led the league all year long, playing the league leaders in the American League East.
And plus, they have some real exciting ball players. You come out here at Canseco, McGuire, and Lansford. They have some fellas that are just fun to watch.
So the Tigers have a runner at first, 1 out, and the batter is Sheridan. Batting at .275, and the pitch is low. Pat has 11 home runs. That's his all-time high in the major leagues. 39 runs batted in. He stepped right in where Gibson left off, and he's made a great contribution to the Tigers. And the pitch. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Steinbeck doing a great job on those last 2 pitches. All 2, no strikes. Does that tell you they don't want to throw a fastball to Sheridan?
Well, he has hurt them in the past, George. He's a .318 lifetime batter against the Oakland Ball Club.
Ball 2, no strikes. And the pitch is in for a strike. Ball 2, strike 1. They're in the 8th inning in Boston, and the Red Sox are rolling along 11-5 over Chicago. They were down 5-1 in the 3rd inning. Vern Pleganoff told me they got 15 hits in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings when they scored a lot of runs. 8 to be exact.
They're holding Lou Whitaker on. Lou does not have a stolen base this year, nor has he attempted a stolen base. So the odds are he is not going to run.
Ball 2, strike 1 to Sheridan, and they go back to first base with it. Nobody has told Todd Burns that Lou doesn't run. Here's the pitch out. Nobody told Tony La Russa. As he called for the pitch out, ball 3, strike 1. Boy, that puts a pitcher in a big hole, doesn't it? When it's 2-1, you call for the pitch out. Now 3-1. And a fly ball hit deep into left. It'll be caught near the warning track. And back to first base comes Whitaker. Sheridan hit the ball well to the opposite field.
George, by them pitching out with 2 balls, they must really know that Todd Burns has excellent control.
That's a good point. With a kid pitcher, you don't usually, do you, put him in a hole 3-1? They did. He threw a strike, and Sheridan sent a fly ball to left. And the batter is Trammell, batting at .328. Another fine year for the veteran shortstop. 1 ball, no strikes. Everything else except the Boston-Chicago game and this one in the American League is under the lights. Breaking ball low. Ball 2, no strikes. The runner at first is Whitaker. He had a one-out single, stayed there. Sheridan flied to left. Now the 2-0 pitch to Trammell. And a fly ball into center. It's going to be an easy play out there for Henderson. He puts it away and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the first. There is no score.
Okay, here's the batting lineup for Oakland. Leading off, playing left field, Stan Javier. Batting second in center field, Dave Henderson. Batting third, Jose Canseco, the right fielder. Batting fourth, Mark McGuire at first base. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Carney Lansford. Batting sixth, Terry Steinbach is the catcher. And the DH batting seventh is Don Baylor. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Walt Weiss. And batting ninth, playing second base, Mike Gallego. Defensively for the Tigers, Sheridan, Pettis, and Lemon in the outfield. Salazar at third, Trammell, Whitaker, Evans, Matt Noakes behind the plate, and Frank Tanana on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. Frank, a record of 11-5, 4.13 earned run average, his 20th game, all as a starter. Third outing against the A's, and he's 1-1 this year, and 18-18 lifetime against the Oakland A's. Lost his last start, but when he was shut out 4-0, he pitched an outstanding game in that game against the Angels. Frank had a shutout going in the 8th inning, but the Angels pushed across 4 unearned runs with 2 outs. And of course, Frank was losing in that game. He went 7 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs. He walked 3 and struck out 6. Frank, one of 8 active pitchers with 3,000 career innings, and the only one to pitch all in one league. Of course, the other ones for Bly Levin, Rick Russell, Jerry Rush, Tommy John, Nolan Ryan, Don Sutton, and Doyle Alexander all have pitched 3,000 or more career innings. George?
Javier will lead it off. Henderson and Canseco will follow for the A's. No scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The first pitch from Tanana. A strike, says Tim McClellan. He'll give you the slow call back there. You have to be ready. He gives you the fast call at the plate. Strike. Then he goes slowly up with the right hand.
Yeah, the players know what the call is, but the people in the stands and the broadcasters don't know.
That'll make it strike 2 to Javier. Bill Rigney, one of the all-time favorite people in baseball, was in our booth. Bill has been a player, a manager, a front office executive, you name it. He managed the Giants, the Red Sox, the Oakland Ball Club. Here's a pop-up on the infield. Backing to the outfield grass. He'll put it away.
I tell you, in one time mentioned as a possibility of managing the Tigers.
That's absolutely right. He's a great friend of Jim Campbell. I just told him that Jim Campbell had been in Scotland, England all week playing golf, and I tell you, he's so envious. Here's Henderson, who broke up the no-hitter last night with a 2-run homer. This fella keeps bouncing around, Al, and plays well everywhere he goes.
He struggled last year with Boston and San Francisco, but he's found a home here with Oakland and has delivered, as you mentioned, a lot of key hits.
13 home runs, 50 runs batted in, and he is not playing on a regular basis. The 1-strike pitch. It's a ball. Just a reminder now that coming up later will be our Miller Lite Tiger home run inning. And if your postcard is selected and a Tiger hits a home run during the home run inning, well, you're going to win a lot of money today. $2,400 you'll win today from Miller Beer, so stay tuned. You could be a winner. One ball, 2 strikes. Gives Salazar a chance to back up a little bit at third base.
Play Henderson pretty deep straight away, although Alan Trammell is pulled around in the hole. That means probably that they're going to try to throw him a breaking ball down and in.
He hits it deep into left center. Pettis going back near the warning track to put the ball away. Second out of the inning as he hit him a little bit on the handle, I think, Al.
Yeah, with Matt Noakes was sitting inside. He wanted to get the ball inside, and Frank Tanana did not get it exactly where he wanted to, and Henderson was not able to get the big part of the bat on the ball.
There's the big guy out here, Jose Canseco. He got his 26th home run of the year last night. And you can see he can do it all, batting at 290. Oh, does he have a rip at it.
You know, and I'm not a big backer of home runs, and only when they come at the right time. When Canseco hits home runs, they come at the right time. 17 of his 26 home runs have either tied the game or put the A's in front. So he's getting them when you need them. And, we have allowed a few home runs, haven't we?
Second in the league with 93. It's strike two to Canseco. Canseco, if he gets his pitch, will hit anybody, but he'll have more trouble with Tanana than he will a fellow who just throws hard, and harder at him. Here's the two-strike pitch. Tanana had taken 2 steps toward the dugout, which tells you he thought it was a strike.
And that's a good way to make umpires mad, but he gets a lot of home runs with 2 strikes. He cuts down his swing, but he's so strong, you make a mistake, he can still hit it out.
And he gets a base hit into left field. Slow curveball, and Canseco lines it into left. You got to watch him. He'll run, too. He's one of the faster base runners on the ball club.
Well, if you pick the right pitch off of Frank Tanana, then he's easy to steal on, but Frank does have the reputation of holding base runners pretty close.
Mark McGwire with 18 home runs and 56 runs batted in. And a pitch inside to McGwire.
McGwire well below last year's pace. Of course, he was the consensus All-American League Rookie of the Year. 49 home runs. He's well below that pace so far this year. He only has 18. I say only.
Yeah, when you start your career in the major leagues with 49 home runs, it's got to be downhill from there on.
Pretty much, yes. He doesn't look like the same hitter to me, particularly against right-handers. He seems to bail out a lot more against right-handers than he did a year ago.
He's only hit 4 home runs, as you can see in this ballpark. There goes the runner, and a good jump, and they'll never get him. Canseco says his goal is 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases.
Well, he guesses right, and he did not be fooled by Frank Tanana's leg kick, and he was off and running as soon as Frank made his move on the mound. You see a big guy. Now, he's big. You get alongside of him, he's about 6'4", 220 pounds, and he can run.
Well, they give the intentional pass to Mark McGwire. The count was ball 3, no strikes, and Sparky says, we're not going to fool around with him. It's not much easier pitching to Lansford, but at least we'll start even with him.
And also, it gives you a chance to make the short throw, a short play at either third base or second base if it's a tough play in the hole.
Barney Lansford, he bats at .311 with 5 home runs. 2 on and 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes. Tanana got the first 2 batters this inning. Javier popped it up. Henderson fly deep into left center field. Canseco singled to left, stole second. Then McGwire got the base on balls. The pitch coming up to Lansford. That'll make it 1-1. Just a beautiful day here in Northern California. Hardly a cloud in the sky. It's been a very delightful week here in Northern California. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a line shot that'll be caught by Whitaker. He hit it on a line right straight to Lou Whitaker. At the end of one, it's 0-0. Well, our first trivia call today is going out to Brighton, Michigan, and this is fairly easy today.
Yeah, here's the question, and George, I think we'll get an answer to this one. What change was made to the baseball in 1975? I think fans ought to be able to get that. And here's a clue.
Okay, go ahead.
It had to do something with the shortage of horses.
Well, they used to call it the old horse hide. And Darrell Evans has put a few horse hides into orbit in his career. Takes a strike from Todd Burns.
How about 394? That's only in his major league career.
And a breaking ball low. In the National League, Atlanta has a 2-1 lead over the Mets in New York in the 6th inning. Cardinals have bounced back. They lead the Giants 3-2. They're playing in the 6th inning. Giants had a 2-0 lead going into the 6th. And Montreal 1-0 over Cincinnati in the 8th inning. They're just getting underway at Wrigley Field. San Diego failed to score in the 1st inning. There's a breaking ball outside. Todd Burns has great control, but he has not been able to get the breaking ball over yet. There's a bouncer to second. Gallego on the first, and Darrell Evans is out. We'll bring up Chet Lemon.
All right, number 34, Chet Lemon.
Chester batting at .277 with 7 home runs and 34 runs batted in. The pitch is a strike. 1 strike to Chester. Tigers have only 1 hit, 1 base runner off of Todd Burns. That was a single by Whitaker in the 1st inning. Hayes had a couple of base runners, a single by Canseco and a walk to McGuire. And he pops it high in the air to left field. Javier, now Henderson, and Henderson's going to make the catch. So Lemon is out, 2nd out of the inning, and it'll bring up Matt Noakes.
Number 33, Matt Noakes.
Matthew batting at .229 with 11 home runs.
Been a real struggle for Matt, except for maybe the first week of the season, but he has struggled pretty much all year long and just had not been able to get back in the groove that allowed him to have a great rookie season last year when he hit .289, 32 home runs. But to his credit, George Kell, that he has been outstanding behind the plate.
Yeah, better than last year, really. And he fouls this one away. I had a nice note, Al, from Mr. Arthur Hetler in Bern, Michigan, I believe. He says you hit 4 home runs in 1 game.
Well, I wish.
You didn't?
No, I hit 3. 2 in 1 inning. He might have been thinking of Colavito, you know.
2 in 1 inning.
Yeah. Just missed the my 4th home run.
Matt Noakes hit it hard, right straight to the left fielder, and the Tigers go out 1-2-3 in the 2nd inning. Still no score. Well, our first trivia call went to Richard Osgood of Brighton, Michigan, and Richard could not answer your question. You're going to have to give a little more.
Wow, I thought this would be an easier one. What was the major change made to the baseball in 1975? And our one clue, and the only clue, the change was made because of the shortage of horses. That means they did not use horsehide anymore. What did they use
now? What are they using now? That's a good question. What are they using now instead of horsehide? Here's Terry Steinbeck to lead it off. Most valuable player in the All-Star game this year. He'll be followed by Baylor and then Walt Weiss. And the first pitch from Tanana. Tell me more about 2 home runs in 1 inning.
Yeah, I had 3 in 1 game in 1955 against Philadelphia. It was Philadelphia at that time, and had 2 in 1 inning and hit another one. Almost hit my 4th one, but the left fielder jumped against the fence. Gus Zernier, who was a big guy, 6'5", and possibly took away another home run for me.
I batted twice in 1 inning, made 2 outs in 1 inning in Boston. That's hard to do.
I tell you something that was unusual. In 1968 World Series, Norm Cash and Al Kaline both got 2 hits in 1 inning in the World Series game.
The 7th game of the 68 World Series?
Not 7th, 6th game when we scored 10 runs.
6th game. That's right. That's right. 6th game. That is unusual. You should be in the Hall of Fame. We'll see about that. Here's the pitch. Inside. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Steinbeck. Hall of Fame induction ceremonies will be next Sunday in Cooperstown. There's a line shot into center field. Steinbeck waited on the curveball, and he drilled it into center field. So the leadoff man is on, and the batter is Don Baylor.
I would imagine that Terry Steinbeck's going to have a good game because Sparky Anderson had some quotes in the paper today about how bad catching is in the American League, probably the worst in history of the game, and yeah, Mr. Steinbeck might take exception to that.
Sparky says, here's a pop-up outside of first base. Darrell Evans has the room. In this ballpark, you have all kinds of room. You can see Chuck Wozniak is panning the first base side, now the third base side, and gives you an idea. Boy, that takes away from your batting average. Now, a lot of balls that are caught very easily in this ballpark, in Boston, for instance, or in Detroit, or in the suits, and you get another chance, but not here.
You just figure if you take 10, 15 fly balls a year and you're outs, that hurts your batting average.
Could be 10 or 12 points.
Right.
Here's Gallego, the second baseman. Mike Gallego. The runner at first, Terry Steinbeck. He opened this inning with a base hit. And the pitch. It's a ball. It's a final now from Fenway Park. The red-hot Red Sox have won 10 in a row. They beat Chicago today, 11-5. The new manager, Joe Morgan, he's got to think this game is easy. He has won 10 in a row since being named to succeed John McNamara. If he should lose a ball game, he'll call a meeting.
It's going to put a little pressure on the Red Sox front office. They gave him a contract for the rest of the season. Now, they're going to have to sign him. Maybe somebody else might want Joe Morgan as a manager.
Here's a ground ball to Evans, out at second, the relay to first, and a double play. Good play by Darrell Evans. That is not an easy way to make the double play, but Darrell picked it off and turned it easily. At the end of 2, it's 0-0. No score at the end of 2 as the Tigers come to bat with Salazar, Bergman, and Pettis. We'll take time here to look at our phone poll update, and there's still time to get your votes in on today's phone poll. The question is, will the Tigers hang on to win the American League East? So far, the results are running like this. Yes, 78%. No, 22%. We've had 1,200 calls so far. If you want to vote now, you call one of the numbers on your screen and you'll be charged 50 cents per call. And as Bernie said on the pregame show, do not vote with your heart. Luis Salazar is leading it off. Ball 2, no strikes. Tigers have had only one base runner against young Todd Burns. The breaking ball in for a strike, 2-1. The pitch. Ball 3. Oh, it's a strike. 2-2. Gotta wait for Tim McClellan. Ball 2 and strike 2. Yankees play tonight in Kansas City. Fly ball to right. It's Canseco out there. We'll put it away. Well, Salazar is out. Well, Al, our second trivia call went to Paul Stiles in Taylor, Michigan, and there was nobody home. So our third call will be going to Grand Haven, Michigan.
Okay, and what major change was made to the baseball in 1975? And the reason it was a change because there was a shortage of horses, and they couldn't use horsehide anymore. So what are they making the baseball out of now?
Yeah, we do not use the horsehide, and there's nothing synthetic. Dave Bergman takes it outside. Ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes. And the pitch from Burns. Here's a line shot into right center field. This ball is going to drop in for a hit, and he gets by Henderson, but holding it first is Bergman. Well, I think he could have made it with a little bit more aggressive base running, but David elected to hold on, and he's at first.
Yeah, Dave would have made, and I'm sure he's telling himself he should have gone because the fielder was running away from second base. Henderson does not get a good break. He jumps back on the ball and then tries to make the play, and the ball stays down and goes under his glove. Canseco backs up, which he should do, but he's running towards center field. Really couldn't get a lot on the ball to second base.
Going to bring up Gary Pettis, and he pops it high in the air near the dugout. Here comes Lansford, and I don't think he caught it. He went into the dugout. Tell you, Al, you said as Canseco should have backed it up, but not every outfielder does. Watch Lansford here.
Look at Tony. He's not going to let his man get hurt there. He's going to catch him so he doesn't get hurt. That's a pretty good tackle.
Had Canseco not backed up that play, that would have been a 3-base hit at least for Bergman. It's 1 strike to Gary Pettis. And a pitch over but low. Gary flied to left field to start the ball game. We're in the 3rd inning. There is no score. Here's a good stat from Pettis. Another one over near the dugout. This will get back in the crowd. Oh, that's terrible. The young man had it in his hands. It popped out. Rolled back onto the playing field. And they're going to give it to him anyway. It's 1-2 to Gary. And a line drive into left center. Henderson on the run. He'll catch it. A good play by Henderson. Boy, that one was headed to the gap in left center field, and a fine running play by Henderson.
They had Pettis played perfectly. He catches the ball almost in the left fielder's position where you normally play against a right-handed batter or left-handed batter. But they had him well shaded towards left center field.
We'll bring up Whitaker, who had a single his first time up. And the pitch is outside to Lou. Lou was bombing them out of here in batting practice pretty good. The wind is blowing toward right field today. Outside, ball 2. Here it is, a gentle breeze, as Chuck Wosley just pointed out to me, a gentle breeze blowing toward right field. And a strike on the outside corner. The young man did not give in. Behind 2-0, he painted the black on the outside. The 2-1 pitch. That'll make it 3-1. Baltimore is at Minnesota tonight. Texas at Milwaukee. Cleveland's at California. Toronto is in Seattle. And the Yankees at Kansas City. Lou had a good pitch to hit. Fouls it away. Well, they love their baseball here in Northern California. They had, what, 36,000 last night?
Yes, about 36. Giants are drawing well across the bay.
They're expecting close to 50 here today and tomorrow. Bergman's going to be running on the pitch. It's 3-2 with 2 outs. McGuire plays behind him. And the 3-2 pitch coming up to Whitaker. He got him. Lou checked his swing, and he's called out on strike. We go to the bottom of the third. It's still 0-0. Well, we're having trouble finding somebody at home. Our third trivia call went to Ted Brim in Grand Haven, and he was not at home.
Okay, the question, what was the major change made to the baseball in 1975? And the clue we've been giving to you, the only one I can think of, and Chuck Wadsley could think of, was it was made because of the shortage of horses.
And you all are big cattle ranchers. Our fourth call is going to Dearborn Heights. Leadoff man is Walt Weiss. They had given us the lineup with Weiss batting 8th, Gallego 9th, but Gallego batted 8th, bounced into a double play to end the second inning. So Weiss leads off here in the third. He'll be followed by Javier and then Henderson. A 0-0 ball game as Frank Tanana gets ready. Comes right down the middle with this one. Ball 2 and strike 1. A lot of people think this fellow, Walt Weiss, will be the Rookie of the Year. He hits it to third and right through the legs of Salazar. Luis didn't get the glove down, and it scooted right between his legs. That'll be an error charged against the third baseman.
The ball hit pretty sharply. Luis goes down, but then he just doesn't stay there long enough. He anticipated the ball bouncing up somewhat to him, but he raised his body, and the glove came up too.
That'll bring up Javier, who popped to second base his first time at bat. He's ready to bunt. This fella bunts well, runs extremely well. And batting well since the All-Star break at .346.
He had a 5-for-5 night against Cleveland on his last road trip.
And he lays down a bunt that's foul. Good bunt, but rolled foul. Giants have rallied. They've taken the lead over the Cardinals in the 7th inning, 5-3. Talk about drawing people. The Cardinals have been in last place in the past 10 days. They just got out because Philadelphia's been losing, but they are packing them in St. Louis. We've had a chance to watch them out here the last 2 nights on television. 41,000 on Thursday night, 44,000 last night against the Giants. And another packed house today in St. Louis. Cardinals won it all in the National League last year. Went to 7 games in the World Series before losing to Minnesota, as everybody knows, but they're having a bad year. Here's another bunt that's foul. So it's 1-2 to Javier.
Oakland Ball Club, the reason why they're in first place, that they do the little things well. Although he didn't get the base runner over that time, these little guys on the Oakland Ball Club trying to get men over in scoring position for their big hitters, their 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters.
And he might hit and run now in an attempt to get him over. Pitch is outside. Ball 2 and strike 2. at first base is Weiss. He's there with nobody out. And the throw will go to first base. Frank had a great outing in Anaheim his last start. Tigers just could not score a run for him. Went into the 8th, a 0-0 game. And the Angels scored 4 times, all unearned runs. And the Tigers lost it 4-0. It's ball 2 and strike 2 to Javier. And he struck him out. Slow curveball, and Javier is out.
The batter, center fielder.
Now, Frank takes a lot off this pitch. Watch how the hitter is well out in front. He just can't keep his hands back, even though the ball's out of the strike zone.
That's the first strikeout today for Tanana. And the batter is Henderson, who flied deep into left center his first time up. They keep an eye on Weiss, and he looked like he might have been running. Just getting a final from Cincinnati. Montreal wins it 1-0. There's a foul ball. Atlanta has a 3-1 lead over the Mets. They're in New York in the 7th inning. And Chicago scored 1-0 over San Diego in the 3rd. Pirates and the Dodgers play tonight in Pittsburgh. Philadelphia plays at Houston tonight. There's a base hit into right. Weiss is going to go to 3rd. And save. Boy, a great throw by Lemon. And he made it very close at 3rd base.
Yeah, this was a great throw. We mentioned all year how deep Chet Lemon plays in the outfield. He was in just another couple of feet. He would have been able to make the throw and get the base runner out. But he makes a strong throw. He had a chance for the cutoff man to cut it off. But very close play at 3rd base, right on the money.
And the batter is Canseco now. 1st and 3rd, 1 out for the Athletics. Canseco had a single his first time up. This inning started with an error on a ground ball by Salazar, then a strikeout, and a base hit by Henderson. And the first pitch coming up to Canseco. 1 strike to Jose. Well, Henderson showed us something with the bat. He just waited, went to right field, got his pitch. He was going through the hole into right all the way. Canseco waiting on the 1-strike pitch. We'll make it 1-1.
Canseco, the 1986 Rookie of the Year, 31 home runs that year. 33 home runs last year. He had 31.
And he's a tough man to double up. The Tigers need a double play ball. He runs very well. Here's a strike. Oh, he didn't like the call on that one.
I think what the fans get upset about is that it looks like the umpire is taking so much time to call, to make the call, and they feel he's not really sure. I think that's one reason why the fans get on him so much.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Tanana delivers, and a base hit into center. He tried to throw a fastball by him. Got it where he wanted it, I'm sure, right in on his fist, and the strong man just muscled it into center field.
Oh, this is just a great piece of hitting by a young man who has not only great strength, but has become a pure hitter. This ball is on his hands, and he takes no stride at all. He's able to fight the ball off and hit it hard up the middle.
1-0, the Athletics lead it, and the batter will be Mark McGuire. Mark McGuire drew a walk in the first inning. And a ball hit foul past third base. He has 12 career home runs and 24 runs batted in against the Tigers. I would imagine that might be the most against any ball club. That's a whole bunch of them. And a one-strike pitch. Strike two. Well, an error opened this inning. 2 base hits. Athletics have a 1-0 lead. 2 runners aboard. Still only 1 out. You see the base runners. Henderson and Canseco. And a double play now. He hit it like a bullet, and Trammell leaped high in the air to pick it off. McGuire robbed of a base hit by this man, Alan Trammell. They get a run. And at the end of 3, 1-0 Oakland. Well, here it is. This is our Miller Lite home run inning. We've had no winners now for our last 14 telecasts, so the pot is up to $2,400. And playing today is Edmund Telezon from Baldwin, Michigan. His postcard was selected at random by the independent accounting firm of Coopers & Lybrand prior to this game. And if a Tiger hits a home run during this inning, well, Edmund, you're going to win $2,400. Good luck to you. And Pat Sheridan could do it. He flied deep to left his first time up. Takes it on the outside corner. Very impressed with Todd Burns. He's behind 2-0. Then he threads a needle to the outside corner. And a breaking ball low. Ball 3.
And you see that he has all kind of confidence, George. He's throwing, not always throwing his fastball when he's behind in the count.
Here's a base hit into center by Sheridan, who rifled it up the middle. Well, Pat Sheridan opens the 4th inning with a base hit. And the batter will be Alan Trammell.
Alan Trammell.
Alan Trammell flied to center field in the first inning.
Tram's 7th in the American League coming into this game, and then batting average at .328.
They've called a balk. They have called a balk.
Well, we haven't seen this in a while, and no question about that this was a balk in today's game.
By today's standards?
Yes. And every other year in baseball history, that would not have been a balk, but this year it is a balk.
Here's the pitch to Trammell. Ooh, barely missed down the third baseline, about a foot, 2 feet foul. One strike to Trammell. Sheridan at second with nobody out. He carries the tying run. And there's the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hayes about hit the Tigers 4-3. They lead it 1-0. And this is young Todd Burns. Good stop by Steinbeck. Arnie Lansford plays the closest third base I've ever seen. I don't think Trammell would be bunting at all, but he is just about even with the bag, and on the last pitch, just a half step off the grass. This is Tony La Russa. Managerial record with Oakland. Very successful out here. This is fouled. Tony La Russa has a division title with the White Sox. Lost in the playoffs to Baltimore. Here he is. Ball 2, strike 2. He was a victim that year, Al, when Hawk Harrelson took over. They just didn't see eye to eye over in Chicago.
He got things so screwed up in Chicago. 2 pitching coaches, one for the bullpen, one for the dugout, 2 hitting instructors. I mean, it was just terrible.
And as a result, Tony La Russa left, whether he resigned or fired or whatever. He left before the season was over. Said he would not manage again that year. But Oakland offered him the job and said it's now, not next year, now. And he took the job. Very wisely took the job. Pitch to Trammell. Ooh, almost hit him. Ball 3, strike 2. Mr. Burns has not walked anybody. Our 4th trivia call went to Clyde Smith at Dearborn Heights. He was not at home, and I'm going to give you one more clue in a moment. Al will. He walked him. Trammell gets a walk. You might read that question one more time.
Okay, I'm going to give you the whole one all over again now. In 1910, baseball witnessed a major change when the cork center was added to the official baseball. The question is, what change was made to the ball in 1975? And the reason they made the change was because of shortage of horses, so they couldn't use horsehide anymore on the baseball. So what are they using on the baseball now?
And if you're a cattle rancher or a dairy farmer, you'll know this answer. And our last call, we got to find somebody at home. Our last call is going to Okemos, Michigan, right outside of Lansing.
So.
Darrell Evans bats with 2 on and nobody out. Tigers down by a run. We're in the 4th inning. Pitch is high to Darrell. Evans has batted 1 time. He rolled out to second base. Steinbeck has made some fine plays. That ball was headed for the screen, and the young man just blocked it.
I don't know how he was able to get over as far as he did. It almost hit Darrell in the foot. Great play.
Steinbeck started out in the athletics organization as a 3rd baseman. They moved him to catcher. Here's a line shot down the line, foul. Darrell made a bid for extra bases, pulled it foul. He's not going to hit it any better than that.
And this is what Darrell has done so successfully throughout his whole major league career. When he's ahead of the count, he's able to hit the ball hard. He's got a great strike zone, doesn't swing at a lot of bad pitches. Just hit that one too far foul.
Ball 2 and strike 1 to the veteran first baseman. Sheridan, the runner at second. Trammell at first. Nobody out. And a fly ball foul down the left field line. Burns came right back at him with a good fastball. Oh, he's got a souvenir baseball. And a whistle.
Well, I bet you the people around him appreciate that whistle.
Oh, they love that whistle. They started that in Minnesota. The players' wives started that in Minnesota, I think. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Boy, he came back with another good fastball, and Darrell strikes out. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 88. Well, go behind the headlines and get to the heart of the story on a current affair extra. That's tonight at 7:30 only on Channel 4. Chet Lemon, the batter. And a ball hit hard, foul, into the seats.
Chester got a hanging breaking ball that time, and his eyes must have lit up because he jumped all over it and pulled it well foul.
Anderson started this inning with a hit. Let's look at his stats. 5 of his 7 home runs.
He has only 7 home runs, but 5 of them is tied the game will put him ahead.
He'll make it strike 2. Like a breaking ball. 2 strikes to Chester. Sheridan opened the inning with a single. Went to second on a balk. Trammell walked on a 3-2 pitch. Then Darrell Evans struck out. And the pitch coming up to Chet. And this one gets away and the runners move up. Finally, a pitch in the dirt got away from Steinbeck. It'll be a wild pitch charged against the young man.
Well, he does everything he can. He gets over, gets his body in front of the ball, but it looked like it might have hit the inside of his shin guard and goes over towards his dugout.
So the Tigers have him at second and third, 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lemon.
And he's got to put the ball in play. Choke up, hit the ball on the ground.
He almost got hit. So one thing for Chet, he was digging in, as you pointed out. He was going to try to put the ball in play. Got a fastball up and in on him. Ball 2, strike 2. Everybody's back. Lansford at third is about halfway. Everybody else will give up a run. Maybe on a sharply hit ball, Lansford would come to the plate. But second, short, first base, ground ball would get the tying run in. Ball 2 and strike 2. Lemon is called out for the second out of the inning.
I don't know what this pitch is, but he takes a lot off of it. Might have been a split finger pitch. Chester, I don't know whether they thought it was inside or high, but he's called out on strikes.
And he'll leave it up to Matt Noakes, who lined to left field his first time at bat. Sparky Anderson says, hey, we've got to get Tanana a run some way. Tigers did not score for him in Anaheim last Sunday. And they have not scored today. And a pitch outside. They may not pitch very well to Noakes.
I don't think they'll be too anxious to throw a good pitch to him. They might hope that he swings on some bad pitches. Yeah, I would say the last 167 times at bat, he hasn't fared as well as he did the first 60 at bat.
Well, he hit it hard, but foul down the right field line. If they would widen the playing field about 50 feet down each line, Matthew'd be hitting 400. He hits a lot of balls, pulls them foul. One ball, 1 strike. And a bouncer to second. That'll get them out of the inning. Tigers threaten, fail to score. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0 Oakland. Well, the 4th inning went by, and we did not have a Tiger home run, but just for entering, we would like to send Edmund Telezon from Baldwin, Michigan, 2 tickets to an upcoming Tiger home game. And Miller Beer will be adding another $100 to the pot for our next Miller Lite home run inning. That'll be tomorrow right here in Oakland. And if you want to enter, send your name, address, age, and phone number on a postcard to Miller Lite Tiger home run inning, Post Office Box 920, Detroit 48231. You must be 18 to enter. Ball hit to Trammell, and Carney Lansford is out. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th inning. 1-0. The Athletics lead the Tigers. And the batter is Steinbeck. Terry Steinbeck had a single his first time up. 1 run on 4 hits for Oakland, no runs on 3 hits for the Tigers. There's a ground ball to the left of Trammell, a good play, and he'll throw him out. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the 4th inning. So the Athletics wasting no time. They're just swinging away. Don't forget Sparky Anderson's 2nd annual sports memorabilia auction. That'll take place on Saturday, July 30th, for the benefit of Catch. That's carrying athletes team for Children's and Henry Ford hospitals. Saturday, July 30th, the event will take place at the Southfield Civic Center. That's 26,000 Evergreen Road in Southfield from 10:30 until 3 p.m. Also up for auction will be a chance to dine with your favorite Tiger, sit in the WDIV-TV 4 booth with Al Kaline and myself, WJR in the past broadcast booth also. Here's a pop-up. And a lot of other special event items. So an easy 1-2-3 inning here for Frank Tanana. And at the end of 4, it's 1-0 Oakland. Home in Okemos. So we placed our 5 calls and no one was able to correctly answer your trivia question, Al. You might read that and give the answer.
Okay, what change was made to the baseball in 1975? For the first time, balls could be covered with cowhide instead of horsehide.
Okay, we'll have another trivia question for you on our next pregame show. That'll be tomorrow afternoon here from Oakland, and we'll give you another chance to win those 2 tickets. We're getting a delay right now.
Waiting a shortstop.
Yeah, we're missing a shortstop. Here he is. Walt Weiss had gone into the clubhouse for some kind of repair. They were ready to go, ready to pitch without him, and all of a sudden, screaming from the dugout says we're a man short.
Tell you what, the way Todd Burns is pitching, they may not need a shortstop.
Well, here's Salazar to lead it off in the 5th inning. Luis flied to right field his first time up. And he chops it foul.
Shortstop has not had to make a play today so far.
Well, the Tigers had a great chance in the 4th inning. They put the first 2 runners on. Evans struck out, then a wild pitch moved him up. Lemon struck out. Noakes bounced out to end the threat. The ground ball coming 1 out too late. And after each televised Tiger game, Al and I will be announcing the Miller Lite Tiger Player of the Game. And the winner will have $100 donated in his name to the Children's Hospitals of Michigan by the Miller Brewing Company. There's a pop fly to the first baseman. Now the second baseman, Gallego, in behind him. So Luis is out. The batter will be Dave Bergman. David had a base hit in the 3rd inning.
Berge has really picked up his batting average, and ever since he's changed sort of his philosophy on hitting, I would say. Berge used to swing up on the ball. Now he's just trying to swing level down on the pitch and been very successful doing it. And he's one of the few players that in baseball that does not play for maybe a week, 10 days, and able to come in and do a pretty good job.
And a strike makes it 1-1. They're in the 9th inning in St. Louis. Giants and the Cardinals tied at 5. Montreal a winner this afternoon, 1-0 over Cincinnati. San Diego leads the Cubs 2-1 in the 5th. And Atlanta leads the Mets 3-1 in the 9th inning in New York. And the Red Sox, the red-hot Red Sox, won their 10th game in a row today. They beat Chicago 11-5. They started play today only 3.5 behind the Tigers.
You know who has helped the team? I've been watching in the papers. Larry Parrish has been getting some big hits for them.
Bergman gets a walk. So he's on for the second time today. Only the second walk given up by Burns. And the batter will be Gary Pettis.
Gary Pettis.
Well, we'd like to invite everyone out to the 6th annual Tiger Wives Cystic Fibrosis softball game. That's when the Tiger Wives will take on a lot of your favorite media celebrities. That'll be on Friday, August the 5th. It'll be at 11 o'clock at the Southfield Civic Center. Here's a pop fly into shallow left. It's going to drop in for a hit. Well, Gary Pettis drops a single into shallow left field.
This is pretty hard to get a ball between the shortstop and the left fielder because they're playing so close for Gary. But he hits it on the end of the bat and just in front of the left fielder. Almost gets by him. And boy, I tell you, that would have been a lot of trouble for Oakland had that ball gotten by him.
2 on with 1 out for Whitaker. Lou singled in the first inning, struck out in the third. And a strike on the outside corner. Okay, we told you about the cystic fibrosis softball game. The proceeds will go to help in the fight against this dreaded disease. And we're going to tell you about some of the celebrities that'll be there. Strike 2. Curtis Gadsden will be there from DIV. Paul Gross, Chris Hansen. Ray Lane's going to be there from WKBD. Margie Reed from DIV. Margie Reedy, yeah.
I might go watch that game.
You'll be there. How about Bernie Smilovich? You going to go watch him play?
Not because of him, but I might still go.
Come on, Bob Talbert. You going to watch Bob Talbert play? Sparky Anderson, Lee Norwood, Eli Zaret. We're going to have a lot of celebrities there.
That's August the 5th at 11 o'clock at the Southfield Civic Center, huh?
Yeah. Tiger Wives. I'm going to go watch the Tiger Wives because they're going to win. Friday, August 5th, 11 o'clock at the Southfield Civic Center. It's 2-2 to Whitaker. He's trying to get the tying run in. Ooh, he got him on the outside corner, and he's out on strikes. Well, I tell you, Tim McClellan's got a big strike zone, and you got to know that.
Well, we're going to take a look at the last pitch, and let's see exactly what happens to it. Looks like a pretty good pitch. Lou thought it was outside. The catcher did not move the glove very much, and even though our camera angle is off to the side, he looked like he did not move his glove.
This young man has 4 strikeouts, 3 of them coming in the last 2 innings with runners all over the place. This is Pat Sheridan. 1 ball, no strike. Sheridan had a base hit his last time up. Tigers have not been able to break through against Todd Burns. They trail it 1-0. Make it 1-1. Like he let up on him, didn't he?
One of the bad things when you start trying to hit home runs, particularly against someone who has outstanding control and can hit the outside corner, that you'll swing and miss a lot of those pitches.
Ball 2, strike 1. Bergman, the runner at second, Pettis at first. And the 2-1 pitch coming up. And a ball hit the first. Easy play from McGuire, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 1-0 Athletics. Here's our upcoming TV schedule. We'll be here tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 for the final game of this series. Then on to Kansas City Tuesday night, August 2nd at 8 o'clock, and Wednesday night, August 3rd at 8 o'clock from Kansas City. Mike Gallego will lead it off for the Athletics. Walt Weiss will follow, and then Stan Javier. 1-0. Oakland in front of the Tigers. They scored an unearned run in the third inning. Pitches a strike to Gallego. He bounced into a double play his first time up. In case you missed it, Boston a winner this afternoon. They beat the White Sox 11-5 after being down 5-1 in the third inning. I was in the office with Sparky watching the game when they were down 5-1. He said they'll win it. They're doing everything right at the moment. There's a ground ball to second. Easy play. Lou took his time, and Gallego made it fairly close at first base.
I think Lou's still a little bit upset about being called out, and he took a lot of time. It looked like he threw a pretty good sinker over to Darrell Evans too. Darrell had a little bit of trouble handling that pitch down by his feet. Take a look at it again. Lou sees the speed of Gallego and then throws one down low to Darrell.
There's Walt Weiss, who has scored the only run of the game. He was safe on an error by Salazar to open the third inning. Later came around to score. Nan and Murray Wykol, W-I-K-O-L, are here at the ball game today celebrating their first wedding anniversary, and they're from Detroit. 1 year ago today. Pitches outside to Weiss. Some people from Harper Woods, Michigan. Scott, Brian, Dave, and Danny. They've got a big banner out there, Chuck Waslick. You can find it after a while. They put it up. They say they want you to show their banner. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Weiss. And the pitch coming up from Tanana. He hits it to third and picked off by Salazar. It was a tougher play than the one that went through Luis' legs earlier, but that's what usually happens. You boot the easy one, make the tough play.
Yeah, whatever happens, this fella Luis has had a great year for the Tigers, playing in all kind of different situations, different positions, and he's done everything extremely well. Been a pleasant surprise for the Tigers.
Javier fouls this one. Ooh. Back into the upper deck. Boy, that happens a lot. Ball coming up there, and a fellow fixing to catch it, and a hand goes up right in front of him, and boom, he was lucky it didn't hit him. This one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we've had a great week out here, Al, Kaline, and our wives. We've been to San Simeon to see the castle. We've been to Carmel. We've been all over San Francisco, and I'll tell you, it's just like having a sign on your back that says tourist. Everybody's got their hand out.
Oh, boy, I'm telling you. But isn't Carmel spectacular?
Oh, is that a great city? What a great city. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did you go see the ex-mayor?
No, I did not. I went down to his little establishment called the Hog's Breath. He was not there. I didn't know why he wasn't there. I mean, you would think that he'd be there meeting all the
you thought he'd be there waiting on you.
Yeah, sure.
You thought he'd be there waiting. Here's a bouncer to short. Long throw by Trammell, and a 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. At the end of 5, it's 1-0 Oakland. We're in the 6th inning at the Coliseum in Oakland. The Tigers are down by a run. They'll be sending up Alan Trammell, Darrell Evans, and Chet Lemon against a very impressive rookie right-hander, Todd Burns.
Well, he's taken the... They gave him an opportunity. They brought him up to help the bullpen. They made him a starter, and he's taken advantage of it. And look like they're going to stay with him for quite a few more turns. He's been impressive. He throws strikes, and it makes your fielders play much better behind him.
There's a foul ball into the upper deck. I must tell you this about our road trip. Louise Kaline told me last night at dinner she found a beautiful dress that she wanted. She loved it, the right color, the right size. I said, did you buy it? She said, no, Al didn't like it. Here's a fly ball into center. Henderson backing up. He'll put it away. I said, well, what did Al didn't like about it? She said he didn't like the price tag on it. Now, is that a true story?
That's a true story, but I think it's more my wife did not want to buy it for that kind of money, because she watches her nickels and dimes quite a bit, and I've been very lucky in that respect. But it was for $600. I mean, just a little $600 dress.
Just pocket change. There's Darrell Evans. Darrell has bounced out and struck out today. And he fouls it away. Tigers have had a couple of chances against this young man. They had 2 on with nobody out in the 4th inning, 2 on with 1 out in the 5th, but he's been tough. This one is hit deep but foul down the right field line.
Oh, great play. It's amazing how these people that bring gloves to the game happen to be sitting in the right places. The young man there doesn't have his shirt on with glasses made a spectacular catch.
This one's fouled away. Still strike 2 to Darrell Evans. Walt Terrell will pitch for the Tigers tomorrow in the finale of this series and the finale of this road trip. There's a fly ball into left. It's going to be caught by Javier. But Darrell Evans is out. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and the batter is Chet Lemon. Chester has flied to center and struck out. The 4th inning was the key inning with 2 on and nobody out. He struck out Evans and Lemon. Got Noakes to bounce out. 1 ball, no strikes. The Giants have scored a run in the 9th. They lead the Cardinals 6-5.
Giants have been having trouble with their bullpen. They have not been able to get people out coming in key situations.
Jose Oquendo hit a home run yesterday in the 10th inning to beat him. This fellow's had 5 major league home runs. 1 in the playoff against the Giants last year that beat him a ball game, the final game. This one's inside. Atlanta has scored 3 more. They lead the Mets 6-1 in the 9th inning in New York. The pitch to Lemon. He walked it. Well, Chet Lemon is on with a 2-out walk, and that'll leave it up to Matt Noakes. Matthew is 0 for 2. He lined out his first time up, then bounced out with 2 on in the 4th inning. Tigers have only 4 hits. 1 by Pettis, 1 by Whitaker, 1 by Sheridan, and a single by Bergman. They've all been singles. This one's foul. Matthew got out in front, pulled it foul into the Tiger bullpen. Yeah, the Tigers need to hit home runs. When they fail to hit a home run, you see what happens. This one outside. And they have not hit a home run since a week ago today. They had 2 in Anaheim. 51 innings without a home run. Matt Noakes had one last Saturday in Anaheim. There's a line drive right at the left fielder. He hit it hard, but right at Javier in left field. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-0 Athletics. Here come the Athletics in the 6th inning. They'll be sending up Dave Henderson, Jose Canseco, and Mark McGuire. against Frank Tanana, who's been brilliant here today, but he's behind 1-0. A's got an unearned run in the 3rd inning. Weiss was safe on an error. Javier struck out. Henderson singled. He went to 3rd base, and Canseco singled to drive in the run. Dave Henderson flied deep into left center in the 1st inning, singled to right in the 3rd. The hits are even at 4 apiece. Both pitchers have been very effective. The first pitch to Dave Henderson. It's a ball. A big crowd here at the Coliseum in Oakland on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's a sellout. They announced on Thursday that Saturday's game was a sellout, and they announced on Thursday they had 1,000 seats left for Sunday's game. I would imagine they were gobbled up. There's a fly ball hit deep, very deep into left field, and off the glove of Sheridan. Henderson will stop at 2nd. Sheridan got back there, leaped, and got his glove on it, but he couldn't hold it.
Now, he might have had a little trouble with the sun here. The ball is hit extremely high. Pat had plenty of time to get back to the wall. You see there, he puts the sunglasses down, and he might hit the fence on his way up. No, he doesn't get back all the way to the fence. He had another foot and a half to go to get back, and you see his leap, and just as he reaches for the ball, he hits the fence. The ball would not have cleared the fence.
Scored as a 2-base hit for Dave Henderson. And the batter will be Canseco, who has singled twice today. Pitches outside to Jose. That's the first extra base hit of this game. Henderson is at 2nd base only because he thought it was a home run. He never did run until he saw the ball bounce off the glove of Sheridan. He was just trotting. There's a foul ball that will get back in the crowd.
Well, you can see what kind of a player that Canseco is. Here's a guy leading the league in home runs and RBIs, and he's still trying to hit the ball the opposite way to hopefully drive the run in. If not, move the base runner from 2nd to 3rd. Good team player.
He singled into left field in the 1st inning, singled to center, and batted in a run in the 3rd inning. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll make it 1-2. As Al Kaline pointed out to you last time at bat, he is a good 2-strike hitter. And he singled with 2 strikes on him to drive in the run his last time up.
What he does, he doesn't take a stride with 2 strikes. If he does, it's very small, so consequently he can wait a little longer before the pitch.
It's 1-2. Tanana taking a little time. Whitaker bluffing the runner back at 2nd. He had to wait for Lou to get back. Good stop by Noakes. Ball 2 and strike 2. It's a final from Shea Stadium in New York. Atlanta 6 and the Mets 1. Tanana trying to get the first out here in the 6th inning. Ball 3, strike 2 to the big guy. It's very impressive. He doesn't swing at bad pitches like a lot of big, strong power hitters. He's waiting on the 3-2 pitch. A ball hit to 3rd. He'll hold the runner, and out at 1st. Oh, he dropped it. glove. He dropped it. He thought he held it long enough, but not for Drew Coble. Sparky's got a good look at it. It's right in front of him, not close to him, but right in front of him. We'll look at it again.
Well, Luis does the right thing. He holds the runner, makes the throw. It's a little offline, but you see Darrell has it, and then the ball just drops out of the... I think what Darrell said was he picked it up in time before Canseco crossed the bag. Let's take a look at it again and see, in fact, he does have it. Oh, very close.
That'll bring up Mark McGwire with 2 on and nobody out. Pitches high to McGwire. He walked in the first inning. He lined into a double play in the 3rd inning.
And Eric King is starting to throw in the Tiger bullpen.
2 on, nobody out here in the 6th inning. The inning opened with a fly ball deep into left center. Sheridan got back there, got his glove on it, couldn't hold it. A 2-base hit. Here's Eric King. In the error on the ball by Canseco, and they have him at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. I would imagine the error is charged against Evans. He had it in his glove, then he dropped it. There's a strike. Ball, 1 strike to McGwire. 18 home runs for this 2nd-year player. Ball 2, strike 1. They can double him up. He does not run as well as Canseco, the other big guy. And when you hit the ball as hard as McGwire hits it, that gives you a better chance to double him up.
He's grounded in 7 double plays.
And he hits it deep into left field. This ball is gone. Mark McGwire.
They throw so many guns at you that if you make mistakes, sooner or later they're going to capitalize on it. And Frank Tanana, who has pitched a whale of a ball game, makes 1 mistake, and it cost him 3 runs here in this inning. 19th home run for Mark McGwire, who a year ago had 49 to lead the American League. Throws him a fastball right where he wanted it, and no question that was going to be a home run.
Yeah, he knew it. He hit it extremely hard, and it sails over the fence and on up into the bleachers. 4-0. The Athletics lead the Tigers, and the batter is Carney Lansford, and he fouls it away. As Al Kaline pointed out, they throw the guns at you. Henderson, Canseco, McGwire, now Lansford. He has home run power. And a pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carney is 0 for 2 today. And a strike. Makes it 1-2 to the 3rd baseman. Carney batted in the 1st inning with 2 runners aboard. He hit the ball hard on a line right straight at Whitaker for the final out of the inning. This one's outside. Evens the count at 2-2.
Carney's been in a big slump ever since the All-Star game. He's only 2 for 32. Still hitting over 300.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. The Giants hang on. They beat the Cardinals 6-5. Scored a run in the 9th. Ball 2, strike 2 to Carney Lansford. Ball Ball hit hard to third, and Luis picks it off, and he'll throw him out. Good play by Salazar on a sharply hit ground ball. That's the first out of the inning. The batter is Steinbeck. Terry singled in the second inning, bounced out in the fourth. People out here would love to see a World Series, Giants and the Athletics. Wouldn't be a Subway Series. I guess you'd call it Bay Bridge Series. Across the Bay Bridge to get from one town to the other. Giants, of course, won their division last year. And the Athletics have a commanding lead in the American League West this year.
Roger Craig, the manager of the Giants, is getting some static now. He predicted in spring training they were going to win, and I'm not so sure now.
No, they're having their problems. They've got a big 4-game series coming up with the Dodgers at home starting tomorrow night. And they need to win all of them. Here's the pitch to Steinbeck. He hits it foul. Ball 2 and strike 2. Well, that's the name of the game, isn't it? From time beginning, when you win, everybody's with you. When you're losing, you get a little static.
Oh, absolutely.
It's part of it.
What have you done for me lately?
The 2-2 pitch. And a base hit into left. Steinbeck drills it into left, and here comes Sparky.
Eric King has been warming up, and usually Sparky doesn't come out unless he's going to make a change.
Now he's going to make it. He wants the right-hander Eric King to come on. The Athletics have scored 3 times this inning on 3 hits and an error. The big blow, a 3-run homer by Mark McGuire.
Another fine job by Frank Tanana. A couple errors behind him. 1 bad pitch.
And while there's a break in the action with the score, the Athletics 4, the Tigers nothing. We'll pause for these messages.
King replaces Frank Tanana. We mentioned Frank just not able to get any runs from the bats of the Detroit Tigers. Last start, he was shut out in Anaheim. The Tigers did not score any runs for him in this game. Made 1 bad pitch to Mark McGuire. He's a 3-run homer. Eric King, you see his stats: 1-1, 3.71 earned run average, and 2 saves. Eric, of course, being brought up from Toledo. And he's been one of a fine group of Tiger firemen out of the bullpen. They lead the league with a 2.79 earned run average. And the opponents against the Tiger bullpen batting only .216. So they've been doing a great job coming out of the bullpen. Eric King, of course, outstanding pitcher the last couple years for Detroit. Sent back to Toledo to pitch out of the bullpen. And great arm. It's just a matter of Eric getting the ball in good location.
Don Baylor is the batter. Don's 0 for 2. He's fouled out to first base, and then he popped it up to first base and takes a strike from Eric King. Tigers will be home on Tuesday night to play Kansas City. They'll open a 3-game series, all-night games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then the Rangers come in. Texas Rangers come in over the weekend. Here's a ball into right field for a hit. Holding will be Steinbeck at second base. A base hit, solid base hit by Baylor. And they have them at first and second, nobody out. They'll look for the bunt from Gallego. Mike Gallego has bounced into a double play and bounced to second base. He didn't show any attempt to bunt. First and second, one out for Gallego, and we're getting action now.
Yeah, it's Mike Henneman up throwing for the Tigers in the bullpen.
Pitches inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Henneman,
the ace of the bullpen. Mike having a great season for the Tigers, along with everyone I've mentioned. Guillermo is pitching well. Paul Gibson, you don't hear very much about, doing a great job out of the bullpen.
Well, I heard Sparky today in his office before the game talking to an Oakland writer, and he was asking him what everybody asks everywhere we go. How are you doing it, Sparky? And he says, good pitching, and we catch the ball. Catch the ball, getting good pitching. This one's foul. Look out now. Ball 2 and strike 2 to the little second baseman. A's have a runner at second. Steinbeck, a runner at first. Baylor, 1 out. Eric King trying to put out the fire here in the 6th inning. And a check swing to first base. Gallego is out. The runners move up. Darrell had only 1 play. The ball was not hit hard. That'll leave it up to Walt Weiss, who will turn around and bat left-handed against King.
Shortstop, Walt Weiss.
Weiss is 0 for 2. He scored a run today. Safe on an error in the 3rd inning. Scored the first run of the game. That made it 1-0. It stayed that way until the 6th inning. The 3-run homer by McGuire has made it 4-0. Here's a strike to Weiss. This is a big out for Eric King. They have runners at second and third, 2 outs, and Tigers can ill afford to give up any more runs. Foul ball, strike 2. Bob Welch, a big, hard-throwing right-hander, will pitch for Oakland tomorrow against Walt Terrell. Strike 2 to the switch-hitting shortstop. The pitch coming up from King. We'll make it 1-2. The Athletics thought enough of this fellow. They traded away Alfredo Griffin and just handed him the job. He's done extremely well. Ball 2 and strike 2.
You don't win too many pennants with a rookie infielder, particularly a shortstop or a rookie catcher. But as you mentioned, they feel this guy can field his position with the best of them, even though he doesn't have the experience.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. Ball 3. Eric King jumped out in front. Strike 2, and now he's gone to the 3-2 count. And the payoff pitch coming up. This is out of play. We have not received the attendance figures as yet, but close to 50,000 in that neighborhood. Just a fine, fine turnout here at the Coliseum in Oakland. Weiss waiting on the 3-2 pitch, and a fly ball behind shortstop into shallow left center. Gary Pettis says he'll handle it. They get 3 in the inning, 3 big runs, and at the end of 6, Oakland 4 and the Tigers nothing. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 88. Now the news is there for you when you need it. News 4 at 5, 5:30, and 6. So come home to the best, only on Channel 4. We've got a 4-0 ball game as the Tigers come to bat in the 7th inning. Tigers have no runs on 4 hits. They've made 2 errors. The Athletics 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Well, we're getting the final results from our phone poll. All the votes are in. And the question, will the Tigers hang on to win the American League East? There's a fly ball into deep right center. Canseco with a fine running catch. This young man does it all.
He is having a great year. Questioned last year whether or not he would ever be a good defensive player, but he's worked very hard in his outfield play and has gotten better and better. He doesn't always look pretty doing it, but he gets the job done.
Well, the results of the phone poll, will the Tigers hang on to win the American League East? 81% says yes, 19% says no. We thank you for your calls, and we'll have another poll tomorrow afternoon right here from the Coliseum in Oakland. This is Dave Bergman. He's had a single and a walk today. Well, there's some seats in this ballpark. If you had to get out in a hurry, you would need a parachute. In the deepest part in left field and right field. Third deck, and boy, that you have vertigo. You've got problems in those seats. There's a pitch outside. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Burton. Yeah, way up here, Chuck. Now Chuck's found him right there. That would be my seat. There's a base hit into left. Bergman rifles it into left field. Second hit of the day for David. He's going to be our star of the game. 2 singles and a walk. If look at these seats now. Bring it all the way down. That fellow just now heard about the base hit into left.
Hey, just about every seat in this ballpark, you're just about in the sun, except for the ones that are underneath the overhangs, and it's not very much of that.
1 strike to Gary Pettis. Gary had a base hit his last time up. He lined out the time before that. Well, he's 1 for 3. Check swing, rolls it towards second, and out on a good play by Gallego. He had to hurry to get him, and the little second baseman made it. On to second goes Bergman with 2 outs, and the batter will be Lou Whitaker.
Tries to check his swing here. He didn't want to swing at it. The ball is out of the strike zone, and Gaetti has to charge out of the way of the base runner.
Runner at second, 2 outs for Whitaker, who's had a single in 3 trips. He struck out his last 2 times up. Here's a couple of devoted Tiger fans, Don Connie and Rick Mione. They were in Anaheim last Sunday. We mentioned their name on the air. They drove all the way up here. They said, we just wanted another good dose of Tiger baseball.
Well, they're seeing it. I don't know how good it is, but they're seeing it.
They're seeing it.
It's a whole lot more fun when the team that you're pulling for is scoring some runs and getting some base hits. But so far, the Tigers have not been able to do much of either.
All 2, no strikes to Whitaker. Rick Mione says his mother's celebrating her birthday today. Elsa Mione, 63rd birthday. He shouldn't tell her age.
Right.
Or maybe I shouldn't tell her, but he wrote it down.
We celebrated another young lady's birthday last night.
Oh, we did.
My wife's Louise.
We sure did. Birthday cake and all. 3-1 to Whitaker. Tigers trying to get on the scoreboard. Bergman, the runner at second with 2 outs. Tigers have not been able to get a clutch base hit. And one of the reasons has been this man right here. He just threads a needle when the count's 3-1. Very impressive performance by Todd Burns. Ball 3, strike 2. announcer that fair ball. Oop, foul ball now. I tell you, I don't know what that means, but he had signal fair, and then the ball took a crazy bounce, and he changed it. Let's look at it.
Looks like it hit some kind of a spike mark, a footprint, something. It looks like it's about a foot fair. Look where it hits. And then all of a sudden, I tell you, Ed had to take a dead right carry for it not to be fair.
I'd say that was a fair ball. It hit right at the bag. When it did carry him to the right, it had to go over the bag, but he called it foul. So Lou gets another chance, and he struck him out. Third time today he has struck out Lou Whitaker. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 4-0 Athletics. Summary of the scoring today. In the 3rd inning, Canseco singled in the first run of the game. Then in the 6th inning, Mark McGuire had a 3-run homer to make it 4-0. And it's 4-0 as the Athletics come to bat in the 7th inning. Just getting the attendance figures here at the Coliseum in Oakland. 48,219. 48,219. And they'll have that many or more tomorrow afternoon for the final game of the series. Some Tiger fans over behind the Tiger dugout. You can take them out of Michigan, but you can't take the Tigers away from them.
No, they're loyal fans. No matter where the Tigers go, they show up and support the Tigers. Great fans.
Stan Javier will lead it off. He was the only Athletic that did not bat in the 6th inning. They sent 8 batters to the plate, scored 3 times. Still had runners at 2nd and 3rd when Eric King got him out. Javier looking for his first hit today. The pitch from King. Ball hit fair down the left field line. They may hold him to a single. They will. Sheridan hustles it back in. Javier swinging late, drilled it hard past Salazar.
Nelson throwing in the bullpen. I don't know whether he's going to be pitching in this game, but he's there throwing. He's been very successful against the Tigers, even when he was with the White Sox. Pitched very well against us.
The single by Javier was hit number 9 for the Athletics, and the batter is Dave Henderson, who's had 2 of those. He's had a single and a double. They've had only 2 extra base hits, a double by Henderson and a home run by McGuire. It's a very, very potent Oakland lineup. Runner at first, Javier, has good speed, and they have to watch him. Henderson handles the bat well. He lined a single into right field back in the 3rd inning with a runner at first base. Here's a pitch out.
George, and we're seeing a lineup, the Oakland Ball Club, without one of their better players, Dave Parker. Been on the disabled list for a couple weeks now. Hernandez and Henneman both throwing down the bullpen.
There's a pop-up on the infield. Trammell waving everybody away. So Henderson is out. First out of the inning, and the batter is Canseco, and he's been on base 3 times today. Now Parker's going to be out another 2-3 weeks now, and like you say, very big bat out of the lineup.
Well, they're so strong from the right side. They need some punch from the left side. And of course, Parker gave them that because all their power is from the right side.
Canseco had a single in the 1st inning, singled and drove in a run in the 3rd inning, safe on an error in the 6th inning. He's had 2 hits, scored a run, been on base 3 times. believe Canseco came up the year that Wally Joyner was the Rookie of the Year.
Well, he might have came up at the end of the year, but Canseco was Rookie of the Year in '86.
Okay, Joyner then in '85. Okay.
Because McGuire was the rookie last year. Rookie of the Year.
He is liable to be the MVP here one of these days. Maybe this year. He leads the American League in home runs, runs batted in. Very good base runner.
He said he wanted to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases.
Yeah, that would be something. But he's capable. Pitches inside to Canseco. 1-2. Eric King is pitching in relief of Frank Tanana. Eric came on in the 6th inning. This one's chopped foul. They've got the wave going here now among the 48,219 fans. They've had a lot to cheer about here all year, and they're going to have a lot more to cheer about. Minnesota made a serious run at them about 3 weeks ago. Now the A's beginning to pull away a little bit. A lot of people didn't think Oakland had enough pitching to do it. This ball hit his bat. But they've been getting great work out of the bullpen. Dennis Eckersley, how many saves does he have now? He came in last night. He has 30, Chuck Waslick tells me. He just comes in and puts out the fire, and he did it in the All-Star game this year.
And here's the guy that did not want to go to the bullpen. He was upset that they moved him into the bullpen.
Canseco is hit by a pitch ball. Eric King kept pitching inside, and he finally caught him with one. Down to second goes Javier, and Sparky's coming out of the dugout. He's going to make a change.
Yeah, he has Henneman. He's been throwing, and he points to
the right-hander.
Eric King hits Canseco, but he has to pitch inside. If Eric is going to be effective, that's where he has to pitch inside. And it wasn't really that far inside. If we take a look at it, watch how Canseco goes into the ball. I mean, you're not talking about 3 feet inside. That ball is just maybe a foot inside, and you have to pitch there if you're going to be effective.
Well, while there's a break in the action with the score, Athletics 4, Tigers nothing. We'll pause for this word.
Mike Henneman, the 3rd pitcher used by Sparky Anderson in this game. Frank Tanana started. Eric King in the 6th. Now Mike Henneman in the 7th inning for Detroit. You see his record, 4-2, 14 saves. Henneman is 7th in the American League. I couldn't find my notes here. 7th in the American League with 14 saves, and he's pitched much better on the road than he has at Tiger Stadium.
He'll be facing Mark McGuire. 2 on, 1 out. 7th inning. Athletics 4, Tigers nothing. And a foul ball. Mark McGuire had a 3-run homer his last time up.
Sure, Sparky brought in Henneman. He throws from the side, and you'll watch Mark McGuire. He'll bail out against a right-hander that throws from the side. He was hitting the head earlier this season, and he doesn't stay in there quite as well against right-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike to the big guy.
Red Sox got 20 hits today as they beat Chicago 11-5, and they've won 10 straight ball games. And everything's happy and well at Fenway Park again. There's another foul ball.
Well, the only thing I'm going to question in the Red Sox is they're going to have to go on the road soon, and they historically has not been a good team playing on the road. And if they can win on the road, then there definitely is going to be a real threat the rest of this year.
It's 1-2 to Mark McGwire. Javier, the runner, at second. Canseco's at first, only one out. And a ball hit foul past third base. Montreal won today 1-0 over Cincinnati. Bryn Smith got the win. Rijo took the loss. He's having a big year for Cincinnati. Jose Rijo won 11, lost 5. And he struck out 12 Montreal batters in a losing cause. You have it. What a play. Still 1-2. McGuire's home run was a line drive into the left field seats in the 6th inning. I believe that was number 13 in his career against Tiger pitching, and he hasn't been around that long. Number 13, Chuck Waslick confirms it. He's my statistician. Somewhere deep under the stands in our truck. Ball 2 and strike 2. Tiger infield deep. They'd like to get the double play ball. Mike Henneman gets ready. The 2-2 pitch. He hits it high in the air into center field. Gary Pettis moves in under it. So McGwire is out, second out of the inning. It'll leave it up to Lansford. Carney's 0 for 3. The Cubbies have a 3-2 lead in the 9th inning. San Diego is batting in the top of the 9th. Everything in the American League will be under the lights except the Boston game. That's complete. 11-5. Red Sox win in this ball game. Here's one hit into deep left center. On the run is Pettis. He's going to catch it near the warning track. Lansford hit it well, and Gary Pettis ran it down. At the end of 7, it's 4-0 Oakland.
Well, the Oakland Ball Club making a pitching change here. Gene Nelson is going to pitch in the 8th inning against the Detroit Tigers. Nelson, I mentioned before, has been very effective against Detroit over the years. Has a career 5-2 against Detroit, coming into the season with an excellent 2.17 earned run average. And we've mentioned he's pitched very well against the Detroit Tigers. This year, he's 5-3. 70 2/3 innings, allowed 65 hits and 32 runs, always around the plate.
There's a fly ball into center field by Sheridan. Henderson shades his eyes and puts it away. Well, Sheridan is out to open the 8th inning, and the batter will be Alan Trammell. Don't forget now, Sparky Anderson's 2nd annual sports memorabilia auction will take place on Saturday, July 30th, for the benefit of Catch. The event will take place at the Southfield Civic Center. That's at 26,000 Evergreen Road in Southfield from 10:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Also up for auction will be a chance to dine with your favorite Tiger. You might want to sit in the booth with Al Kaline and myself, or Ernie Harwell, Paul Carey. Also in the Path booth, Jim Northup. Is he over at the British Open, or did he come back?
I think he's back.
And Larry Osterman. You can sit with them. Other special events. $10 donation will be required at the door, and last year more than $190,000 was raised at the first auction.
I tell you, Sparky puts a lot of time, a lot of effort into this charity. He really believes in it because it's for the kids, and he just does a great job.
Alan Trammell gets a walk. A one-out walk to Trammell. And the batter will be Darrell Evans.
The batter, first baseman Darrell Evans.
Darrell has bounced out, struck out, flied to left field his last time up. It's a final from Wrigley Field. The Cubs win it 3-2 over San Diego. So in the National League, the Cubs a winner, Atlanta a winner, Montreal and the Giants all winners this afternoon. A couple of night games. Dodgers will be in Pittsburgh and the Phillies will be at Houston.
George, I was looking at that Atlanta game against the Mets. John Smoltz. Tigers traded him, and he got his first major league win. A 4-hitter combined with Bruce Sutter.
Young John Smoltz.
Who was that big outfielder we got? He's playing over in Japan now. I can't think of it. Big outfielder we got. And
Harper.
You're right.
A strike to Darrell Evans. Ball 2, strike 1. They play behind Trammell at first base. They don't figure the Tigers will be running down by 4. Outside, ball 3. They're getting a little bit unhappy here at the Coliseum with Nelson. He walked Trammell. He's behind Evans, 3-1. Nobody throwing in the Oakland bullpen. Walked him.
Yep, although the phone has just been answered in the bullpen.
Must be ringing down there. You walk one more, you got the tying run at the plate. A walk, a base hit, anything. That's going to bring Dave Duncan out to the mound. Dave Duncan is the pitching coach of this ball club.
The left-hander is Cataray, and the other one's Eric Plunk, the right-hander, 51. Hey, well, they got some size over here.
I was just thinking some big fellas.
Some big dudes over here.
I thought maybe that was Canseco and McGuire throwing for a moment. Dave Duncan talking to his pitcher, Gene Nelson. 4-0. The Athletics lead it. We're in the 8th inning. Gene Nelson got the first batter, Sheridan. Then he walked Trammell, walked Evans. He'll be pitching to Chet Lemon.
How they like to pitch to Chet when there's men in scoring position is try to pitch him hard inside and get him to hit a ground ball to the third baseman.
It's 1 strike to Lemon. Tell me why Lansford would be playing in on the grass.
You tell me. You're a great third baseman.
I don't know about great, but I wouldn't play right there with a double play in order, I tell you. If he wants to bunt right now, let him bunt. I don't understand it. But he moves back with 2 strikes on him. Much easier to play third base playing deep. Strike 2 to Lemon. Outside, that'll make it 1-2. Chester has flied to center, struck out, walked his last time up. Tigers need a base hit. They've had runners all day, but they have not produced a clutch base hit today. We'll make it 2-2. Ball 2, strike 2. He might be pitching to his last batter if he doesn't get Lemon out. Very impressive 7 innings by the starter, Todd Burns. Then Nelson came on here in the 8th, got the first batter, walked the next 2. You see the base runners, and now it's 2-2 to Lemon. 3. Ball 3, strike 2. Tony La Russa says, what in the world is going on? A 4-run lead. We're walking everybody. He'll lay this one down the middle. Should be a good pitch to hit. And a pop-up on the infield. Chester did have a good pitch to hit, and he popped it up. And the batter will be Matt Noakes. Matthew is looking for his first hit today. He's lined to left field twice. Matthew, who normally hits everything to right field, hit a line drive right at the left fielder in the 2nd inning and again in the 6th inning. And with 2 runners aboard in the 4th inning, he bounced out. Here's a strike.
Well, he can't be trying to hit the ball to left field in this situation. He's got a right-hander out there, and he's going to have to try to hit one in the seats.
1 strike to Matt Noakes. Breaking ball is in, strike 2. Well, Nelson, who's been having trouble with his control, quickly gets in front of Matthew.
And 2 pitches on the inside part of the plate, which you would think in a situation like this, with someone who has a lot of power, that's the pitch you would be looking for until he got 2 strikes.
He's going to have to hit a tough pitch, I would imagine, a breaking ball. They like to throw Matthew the breaking ball. He lines it hard near the Tiger bullpen.
Another great play. I'm telling you, I've seen more great plays by fans, I think, than you got a little kiss for it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Than some of the players on the field.
Terry Steinbeck going out saying, hey, it's strike 2 to this fella now. We don't have to groove it. Well, if this game continues as it is, the Yankees play tonight in Kansas City. And if they win and the Tigers lose, we'll have a first-place tie when play starts tomorrow, and the Red Sox will have moved up another game. Outside with a fastball.
And the Tigers have been leading their division since June the 20th. Their record is just about even now, George, what it was last year. They've only won 1 more game this year than they did.
And on this date last year, the Tigers were 1 game out of first place. And on this date in 1988, they are 1 game in front starting play today. This fellow's not going to get ruffled. Win, lose, or draw. One ball, 2 strikes to Matthew Noakes. 2 on, 2 outs in the 8th inning. Tigers down by 4. And he got him. Nope. Oh, I thought he was going up with the right hand. 2-2. Tim McClellan will give you a battle all afternoon if you're waiting to see what he's going to do. There it is. Ball 2, strike 2, 2 outs, 2 on. As Gene Nelson gets ready. Tried to slip a fastball by him. They give Matthew a lot of the right field line. Play him pretty much into straightaway. The left fielders over in left center. Canseco's in right center. They give him a lot of line down each line. And the 2-2 pitch coming up. He pops this one foul. In case you missed the attendance, 48,219, a big crowd on hand at the Coliseum. And they'll be here tomorrow. He'll be watching the scoreboard to see what happens in Minnesota. Baltimore plays there. Last night, Minnesota won behind Frank Viola, who got his 16th win of the year.
16-2.
And 19th straight in the Metrodome. Now, that's a tough place to pitch.
We were talking about that before the game, and Roger Clemens is going to have to, what, 3 straight?
3 straight.
But, boy, he's going to have to do a lot of pitching to beat out Viola.
Now, Viola, with 16 wins, looked like he might be on his way to a Cy Young year. Still 2-2 to Matt Noakes. And another foul ball. He is hanging tough. Lansford chases it only because he has so much room. You just don't give up on it here. We've just been told by Chuck Waslick on this date in 1968, Denny McClain got his 19th win of the year en route to 31.
Yeah, that was quite a year. What a year to be playing for the Tigers when Denny McClain was on the mound.
Ball 2 and strike 2.
They had a big piece on Denny McClain here before the game started on their scoreboard in center field. Big interview, and I would imagine that was the reason this was the anniversary.
Well, Matthew fouls another one away. He hangs tough against Gene Nelson. Or if we were passing out contracts today, you'd have a hat full of them. Two runners aboard, 2 outs. He walked those 2. Trammell and Evans with 1 out. Then on a 3-2 pitch, he got Lemon. Now it's 2-2 to Noakes. And a bouncer to second. He's going to get out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 4-0 Oakland.
Okay, the Tigers make another pitching change. Guillermo Hernandez now pitching. This is the 3rd pitcher out of the bullpen. Eric King replaced Tanana. Mike Henneman came in the 7th, got his two men he faced out. Now Guillermo pitching here in the 8th inning. What a turnaround he has made this season. Look at his record, 5-2. Excellent 1.91 earned run average, 4 saves on the year. Just been doing a great job. Only 29 hits and 42 in the 3rd innings with 36 strikeouts. Just an outstanding job, good turnaround. And the next save that Guillermo gets will be his 100th as a Tiger, and that'll be 2nd among the career save leaders for the Detroit Tigers. Guillermo just making great pitches again, very similar to what he had in '84.
He'll be facing Steinbeck, Baylor, and Gallego here in the 8th inning. 4-0, the Athletics lead it. Harry Steinbeck singled in the 2nd, singled again in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 3. Athletics have 9 hits. Pitches high, ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes. The Athletics got a run in the 3rd, 3 more in the 6th inning on a 3-run homer by McGuire, and it's 4-0. And another base hit by Steinbeck. Well, they jeered all the way across the country a little bit when Steinbeck made the All-Star team. He just had a big All-Star game, was the most valuable player, and he's had 3 hits today. Don Baylor, the batter, he's had a single, 1 for 3.
Don, one of the better hitters against left-handers. He has been throughout his great career. You try to pitch him inside. He's so strong with the ball out over the plate. But he hits left-handers much better than he does right-handers.
One strike to Baylor. Breaking ball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Guidry will pitch for the Yankees tonight in Kansas City against Bannister. And another foul. This is a ballpark made for a lot of souvenir baseballs because you can't get one back on the roof like you do in Tiger Stadium. So a lot of balls that hit on the roof and go on out in Tiger Stadium land right in the seats here. Ball 2 and strike 2. Athletics batting in the 8th inning with a runner at first, nobody out. A pitch to Baylor. That'll make it 3-2. More than likely, they will have Steinbach running. Baylor against left-handed pitching puts the ball in play pretty good. Ball 3, strike 2. He is not running, and a ball hit foul down the left field line. Sparky Anderson. Boy, you recognize that fella anywhere. This one's outside. He walked him. Well, Baylor gets a walk. They have him at first and second. Nobody out. And the batter will be Gallego.
Second baseman, Mike Gallego.
Tigers coming to the mound. Trammell and Salazar, they're looking for the bunt, and they're getting their play ready. Sometimes they have the third baseman rush the bunt. The shortstop Trammell goes to third, where he can field it, turn, throw to Trammell. Next time, Trammell might fake going to third, break behind the runner, and they'll try a pickoff play. So they've got some options, but this fellow's got the first option. Gallego, and he did not even attempt a bunt. He was swinging away at Darrell Evans, who was charging from first base.
Jim Lefevre, the third base coach. Quite a story about Lefevre in the paper not too long ago when Seattle was thinking about making a manager change there. They asked for permission to talk to him, and he said, no, I don't want to talk to him. We're trying to win a pennant. If they want me to be a manager, talk to me after the season. We're trying to win a pennant here.
Hey, that's all right. I like that.
And he's a young man. You know, deep in his heart, he wants to manage someday.
The one-strike pitch. He's going to bunt now, and a pretty good bunt. They'll go to first base with it. Would have gone foul, I think.
Yeah, there's two things. He had two options. First of all, the option was let it go foul. Then he could have thrown to third base. Trammell was covering third base. The play was put on that Trammell was going to go to third base, thinking bunt all the way. Now, he had spin. This ball is going to go foul. You see there, he almost fielded the ball in foul territory.
All right.
We're going to get a base runner right here.
It's like Tony Phillips.
Going to run for Baylor.
There's no question that that bunt would have gone foul because it had spin on it, and it would have gone in foul territory. Salazar hurried to make the throw to first base.
They'll play the infield in for Walt Weiss. Runners at second and third, one out. Weiss 0 for 3, scored a run back in the third inning. Turns around to bat right-handed against Hernandez. And he had a good rip at it. This inning started with a base hit by Steinbach. Baylor drew a walk. Gallego bunted, moved the runners along. Now Guillermo trying to get the switch-hitting shortstop out. They've called a balk. They've called a balk. That's going to bring everybody in. Sparky coming out, Evans, Salazar, Guillermo.
He's sending them back. I don't believe this. The umpire's sending them back. You see there, Willie steps off. He steps straight back. Oh, that really is confusing the second base umpires now, ruling that it was a balk. Now all of a sudden they're sending the runners back.
Well, the second base umpire, Al Clark, has got to defend himself. He was explaining while all this was going on to Lou Whitaker just exactly what happened, and now they're sending them back. So
I've never seen this before, where an umpire will take back a decision. Guillermo said all I did was step off the mound. He had his foot on the rubber and he stepped straight back.
If you're off the rubber, you can do anything you want to. You can fake to any base, and evidently they convinced Tim McClellan that he was off the rubber. So the runners have been sent back. And we'll go at it again. All fouled out of play. Still 4-0, the Athletics lead here in the 8th inning. Runners at second and third, one out. And the strike 2 pitch coming up to Walt Weiss. This is foul. I don't know what was said, but it didn't take Tim McClellan long to change his mind. As soon as Sparky got there and Guillermo got there, he said, "You're right," and sent the runners back. And he didn't get much argument from LaRussa either. Tony came out, says, "Just tell me what happened."
They did something different at the plate this time. We might see a squeeze here.
With 2 strikes on him, let's see. Ball hit the third, and they'll come home. And they're going to tag him out. At least, yeah, he's tagged out by Guillermo. At least he could have sent him all the way back to third and had 2 runners there. Well, Steinbach is out. Phillips moves on to third base, and Weiss goes down to second. We'll look at it now.
It's the only thing you can do as a base runner. Try to get hung up. You're told to go on anything on the ground because you already have a man at second base. Salazar had a little trouble getting the ball out of the glove. You don't like the pitcher to get involved in these plays, but that's the case here. Guillermo makes the tag.
It's Javier with a big rip at it with runners at second and third. They can move the infield back now with 2 outs. Stan Javier had a base hit his last time up. And a pop fly behind second. Whitaker battles the sun, puts it away. At the end of 8, the Athletics 4 and the Tigers nothing. Here come the Tigers in the 9th inning. We'll look at the upcoming TV schedule. We'll be here tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 for the final game of this series, and then in Kansas City on Tuesday night, August 2nd at 8 o'clock, and Wednesday night, August 3rd at 8 o'clock. Salazar will lead it off in the 9th. Bergman will follow, and then Gary Pettis down by 4. And a pitch inside. Luis 0 for 3. Flied to right field twice. Popped to second. And he takes a strike. Four runs on 10 hits for the Athletics. No runs on 5 hits for the Tigers. And a fly ball to right for the 3rd time today. Salazar gets it under the glove of Canseco, and he'll stop at second. I think Jose lost it in the sun.
I don't know whether he has glasses on, but he did not put them down. And he did have a lot of problems the way he went after the ball. He went with it with a lot of confidence, and all of a sudden, as he got to the ball, he slowed down to try to get the ball out of the light. But you see there, he does not have his glasses down. Well, that's what you take the equipment to work for. You use them.
Well, here comes LaRussa. They score that, a two-base hit for Salazar. Canseco was moving over under it as if he were going to make an easy play out of it, and never did really get to the ball.
I think it's very lenient two-base hit. Looks like a routine play.
They're going to bring the left-hander in. Tony LaRussa has gone to the mound. He wants the left-hander to pitch Bergman, Pettis, and Whitaker, all left-handed batters coming up. Bergman may not bat, but that's the schedule. Ray Knight's at the bat rack.
Yeah, this is Greg Cadaret. He was born in Detroit. He now makes his home in Lakeview, Michigan. He was the 11th round selection by Oakland in June 1983. And he attended Grand Valley State College in Michigan. He pitched pretty well for Oakland last season. In '87, he started the season in Huntsville and pitched at Tacoma, then finished the season with Oakland, where he was 6-2 last season. You see his record there: 41 and 2/3 innings, allowed 31 hits and 16 runs. He's walked 22 and struck out 35. Guy has a good arm, throws the ball hard, likes the pitch. And of course, with the left-handers scheduled to bat, Tony LaRussa makes the change. And Ray Knight's on deck. Looked like he's going to pinch hit for Bergman.
Well, it's 4-0 Oakland here in the 9th inning. Tigers have a runner at second, nobody out. New pitcher is Cadaret, and the new batter will be Ray Knight, batting for Dave Bergman. Tigers can look back in this ball game to some chances they've had. 2 on in the 4th inning, nobody out, failed to score. A couple of runners on with 1 out in the 5th inning, did not score, and 2 more on base in the 8th inning with 1 out. And the pitch tonight. 1 ball, no strike. Cadaret is the 3rd Oakland pitcher. Here's a strike. Makes it 1-1. This big fella throws hard. Greg Cadaret. Here's the runner at second, Salazar. And the pitch inside makes it ball 2. Two-base hit by Salazar is the only extra base hit the Tigers have had today. Ball 2, strike 1. Ball 3, 3-1 tonight. Oakland pitching has been a little shaky since Todd Burns left at the end of 7, but they have not allowed a run. Gene Nelson came on in the 8th inning. He walked a couple of batters, went to 3-2 on Lemon before he got him out. And the 3-1 pitch to Ray Knight. It's a strike. Ball 3, strike 2. He's ready for the payoff pitch and a pop-up on the infield. Well, that sun, he is bad. You can see Gallego as he shades his eyes. So Ray Knight is out, first out. He'll bring up Gary Pettis. Gary will turn around and bat right-handed.
The batter, center fielder, Gary Pettis.
Gary Pettis has had a single today in 4 trips. And this will be his first time to bat right-handed. If you think Carney Lansford's played in close today, he is shaking hands with Gary Pettis. Some 3 steps in front of the bag at third base. Pitch is over but low. Ball 2.
Pettis a little stronger hitter from the right side. He comes into the game batting at .246 right-handed and only .209 from the left side. So he does swing the bat with a little bit more authority from the right side.
And a strike. Ball 2, strike 1. Oakland pitchers trying to get the job done today, but they're putting a few gray hairs in La Russa's head. Here's a foul ball. We saw Gene Nelson in the 8th inning come within 1 pitch of loading the bases on walks and bringing the tying run to the plate. Catarroy got Knight after going 3-2. 3-1, then 3-2. Now it's 2-2 to Pettis. And a ball makes it 3-2. So nothing easy here in the 9th inning. Ball 3, strike 2. And a drive into center. This is in for a hit. And Salazar will score to make it a 4-1 ball game. Gary hit it on the end of the bat. Looped it into shallow center, just out of the reach of Gallego.
Well, the Tigers have been having a hard time scoring some runs, and this ball was not hit hard. But it finds the hole straight up the middle, loops it into center field.
The batter is Lou Whitaker, who's had a single and struck out 3 times today. Lou's single came in the 1st inning. This is one reason that La Russa raced to the mound and brought the left-hander in after the leadoff double by Salazar. He had Bergman, Pettis, Whitaker, Sheridan, all left-handed batters coming up. And a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lou. This one's on the outside corner. Tim McClellan and Lou have not seen eye to eye on a few pitches today. He called him out on strikes back in the 5th inning on a 3-2 pitch. And he strikes him out again. Well, Whitaker is out on strikes, 2nd out of the inning.
This has not been a good day for Lou Whitaker. Oakland pitchers have been tough. 4 times Lou has gone down to the count. 4 strikeouts.
We're going to get a batter for Sheridan. Herndon is out with a couple of bats. So it'll be Larry Herndon to bat for Pat Sheridan.
It looked like La Russa is on his way out. It looked like he's going to make a pitching change. Eric Plunk has been warming up down there, and I believe that is him coming in.
Well, if Herndon should get on, Trammell would be the tying run at the plate. And while there's a break in the action with the score, the Athletics 4, the Tigers 1, we'll pause for this word. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Tigers 88. Well, what does the future hold for Piston William Bedford now that he's completed his drug rehab program? Well, you can find out on Sports Final Edition. That's tomorrow on Channel 4.
And the new pitcher is Eric Plunk of Tony La Russa, waiting for Sparky Anderson to make a change. Larry Herndon was announced as a pinch hitter for Pat Sheridan, so he's going to go with the right-hander, Eric Plunk. Eric's been quietly doing a great job for Oakland, coming out of the bullpen. As you see his record there, 5-1. Another one of the unsung heroes of the Athletics, coming out of the bullpen, doing a super job in relief for the Oakland A's.
He'll be pitching to Larry Herndon with a runner at first base, 2 outs in the ninth. The Athletics in front by 3. And a pitch outside. A double by Salazar, a single by Pettis, put the Tigers on the board here in the ninth. 1 ball, 1 strike to Herndon. Final game of this series tomorrow. Walt Terrell will pitch for the Tigers. Bob Welch for the Oakland Ball Club. Now tips this one right into the mitt of Steinbeck. So it's a ball and 2 strikes to Herndon. 1-2 as Plunk gets ready. Did he get him? He did. He gets the call from first base. Drew Coble makes the call, and Herndon is out on strikes. He tried to check it. They appealed to first base and got the call from Coble for the final out of the game. The final score, Oakland 4, the Tigers 1, and we'll be right back. Miller Lite, Tiger player of the game, is Dave Bergman. Dave Bergman had 2 singles and a walk today, is at bat 3 times, on base all 3 times. And Miller Lite is pleased to send a $100 donation in his name to the Children's Hospital of Michigan. And we'll be right back. Hit by Salazar to an error on Canseco. They've changed it from the press box. A 2-base error that will be an unearned run by the Tigers in the 9th inning. 4-10-1 for Oakland. The Tigers had 1 run, 6 hits. They made 2 errors. The winner is the starter, Todd Burns. The loser is Frank Tanana. Well, for Al Kaline and Bernie Smilovitz, this is George Kell, hoping you'll be with us tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 when the Tigers face the Oakland A's again. Once again, the final score today, Oakland 4 and the Tigers 1.
Tigers 88. Today's game was brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. By your Greater Michigan and Metro Detroit Ford dealers. And by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has your order. Make a run for the border. Tigers 88. Another reason why WDIV is first for sports.